Greetings, Starseed children. I'm Akasha Ezrate. I wanted to jump on something that the Galactic High Councils wanted me to transmit through transmission. Just a little bit Jedi 101 is what I call it, or 101. When you start to come fully online, you will start to have your galactic higher selves come in. This was mostly taught through my galactic time traveler that was able to just give me some information that I feel like everybody should be able to use from a place of deep compassion and in the heart space fully open. So you'll have to open up your heart, because I do know that this will in a sense morph a lot of belief systems, and I will say morphing because that is what we came in here to do. Those of you that it resonates with, or if it doesn't resonate, just take what you need to assist you. Not really sure what to call this video, but I'm just going to call it little Galactic Jedi one-on-one. Some information that the Galactic High Councils, as we were kind of moving throughout the days, thought that it would be important to transmit this out about pure intent and what is pure intent, okay? Pure intention, especially when you're setting up a protection light field, is something that I've been tuning into as an observer since I came online in 2014, kind of really paying attention to the way that everybody does their own thing in the fourth dimension. So it really is the third dimension and the fourth dimension. Third dimension, they'll set up protection fields, most likely to harm people, and that will be a different belief system. So I do know about that, but a lot of them think they don't realize that they are harming people. So because of whatever was programmed into them by whatever doorway and passageway that they decided to take, like a belief system. So in the fifth dimension and beyond, there really is no beliefs. You just kind of tune into energy, frequency, and vibration, and that's it, and then it moves out. So that's going to be the 3D. I was able to kind of look into that and master that in many different ways. I'm going to say mastery because I realize, this type of setup, and there's certain types of high alchemy setups and shamanism, everything else that I've sat there and observed. I said, well, this actually will most likely kind of rip through somebody's field, and this is a soul's field which is a human's field. So we'll go into that just in a minute. These type of protection grids, and I was able to observe that. Now the higher self usually will be able to bring in liquid light and liquid plasma light. Those of you that do not see it, you won't be able to see it yet, but they know how to, kind of like how snakes shed their skin, actually they can regenerate themselves, kind of rejuvenate naturally, and we all can do this. So the higher self will be able to bring in liquid light, whether you know it or not, and to be able to repair those fragments, holes, and tears actually in your auric field. I'm going to call ripping and shredding in your auric field too. There's a few other things too as well. Setting up protection light fields with what you think is pure intent, and it's not pure intent either. That will be the next thing. That two people's fields have two higher selves actually can, and it's not the higher selves, it's more what we call lack of awareness of what you call energetic management. Also, I'm going to call it Qua. So Qua Ka, or the Ra. Ra to me is the chi frequency. That's the essence that we produce naturally through the body, and it's an essence to me, an energy, frequency, and vibration, which would be a light field. And that's actually how people kind of they don't realize that that's actually how they can harm each other through chi qua, or Ra, chi frequency. So it's going to be their own light field energy that emanates outwards. So that's another one I've been able to tune into, and it really is lack of awareness of old programming from an old computer system, an old matrix, or whatever it is that they were taught. Everything holds a purpose. eventually when you open up into the fifth dimension. So that will be your throat chakra. When your throat chakra fully comes online, that will be your higher self comes in. We'll be able to teach you how we were taught, and when the gates went open. So a lot of us were fully jolted online and were taught by galactic travelers. At least I was, or galactic high commanders, galactic high councils, or galactic ambassadors, whatever you guys want to call yourselves. So the higher version of me is a feline that comes in all the time and says, I would like for you to talk about this. What is pure intent when you're setting up a light field and protection? So very clearly, it's probably going to take you about 2 to 5 years to clear your emotional body of trauma. Okay, so deep cellular trauma and fear out of your body. Because if you're setting up protections and light fields to go into groups, because I've seen this too, because we can read at a light speed everything coming in through frequency, which is good because we're here to actually assist with deprogramming. Those type of beliefs are going to be from a fourth dimensional matrix system in itself. So going into groups or whatever it is that your ego is telling you, because that's just your ego. And I've also have tuned into people saying, oh, that's my higher self. It's not your higher self. That's your fourth dimensional, your 4D dimensional that really is having a field day with you. So you'll realize that one is a player in a game. And you will realize you're being played in a game. You'll eventually catch on when you hit the 5D going, oh my God, I was in a game for like 20 years or 30 years or 80 years. Not realizing that is what they call a fourth dimensional stimulus system. And it is. It actually is a fourth dimensional stimulus system in order for you guys to figure out how to unify with inside of you. So I'm breaking that down just for a minute. When we say a game, so when you feel like your higher self, that would be your fourth dimension, is telling you have to set up protection, that's fear, light fields, or whatever it, and let's just say dark intelligence, or these humans, because we're talking about humans here for a minute. We're talking about angelic humans like us, or when you go into the spiritual community, and they like to play that light and dark battle game back and forth, kind of just blowing, that's all you're doing. So if you look, the fourth dimension is having so much fun going back and forth energy, which is just boomerang, 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 boomerang. Eventually your energy will be depleted and you most likely will be in bed, and then you'll be back up doing another stimulus again, because there is a higher version up there that is the universal soul that eventually says, okay, well, the more that you go through those systems, you should be able to unify. You'll start to unify and realize I don't want to be in this reality. And that's where people expand in consciousness and shift in consciousness, or elevate in consciousness, and change their belief systems. And it really is activation through Crystalline Photonic Light. The Crystalline Photonic Light will expand in your cells. You'll clear the density in your body, because that's the fear frequency, which we talk about. Any Galactic Jedi would know that is a virus on the planet, that when you see people in sheer fear and protection and always feeling like they're having to protect themselves, or victimization programming, you would know that that's a virus, okay? Especially quantum energetic healers and quantum energetic surgeons would know that too as well. The ones that are fully consciously aware and able to connect to the higher version of them, the higher version would be able to show them trauma is being released from the body. So kind of breaking those energy down, hopefully that will be able to hear you. So 2 to 3 years focusing on clearing trauma from your whole incarnation, all fear out of your body. Once you open up to those higher grids, eventually you'll have a higher self come in and will be able to show you the importance of why you had to go through that. The only reason is the photonic light to hit the physical body grid system, the grid work to go crystalline, in order for you to move the density out of your body. You change your beliefs. So you shift your beliefs, or a change in consciousness. Oh my God, that's gone. So that has to be 3D. Okay. So if it's, I can tell what programming is old, but elevating in consciousness. Okay. So really quickly, the way that we were trained is very simple. Okay. We set up our ascension vehicle shields. We set up at least 7 to 11 shields. The shields are not to shield us from humans. Okay. It's artificial intelligence, NA intelligence, and higher dimensional beings that you have no awareness of until you actually see them. Okay? All right. So, human intelligence, okay? We'll use that word. Angelic human intelligence, which is both the same frequency because we are angelic humans, they cannot harm you. So your intent of setting up in groups or whatever it is, if you're going into ceremony or you're going into a group session or you feel like that a human is attacking you, you have to look within to connect to the highest version of you, not the fourth dimensional version, to a higher version, to expand your consciousness, to teach you that that is a belief from the matrix system, and hopefully that will be able to assist you. A true galactic being, okay, would tell you that that is not the frequency, that most likely you have victimization programming, that you have to clear the fear virus in your body. So protection, fear, your childhood, your teenage years, anything that was programmed into your body. That's why I say that purification and in the mental body is the conscious field of what we allowed ourselves to be programmed with. When I say this, I'm talking about coming in to this matrix to assist people for ascension. And it's very simple. So it has nothing to do with like, oh, I chose all this, I programmed all of this. It's not coming from a place of the ego. It's coming from a place of a higher intelligence, knowing that you had a soul map coming in here, that you had blueprints set up, that you are here to anchor in the highest frequency of light and to assist the grid work. And it's grid work, and it is humanity, but it's more the grid work in this universal structure for repair. Some of us came in here for the universal time matrix repair. I'm going to call it repair. Some of us have high contracts because of the sun system, in a sense, but I'm going to leave it at that because we've been able to move through those timelines. So because we moved through those timelines already, we adjusted those timelines already, we have a few years, 2028, we came in here because of the sun and the flares of the sun. But that has been adjusted. We do have a gateway in 2028 that we should be able to pass through that gate and to be able to realign the timelines. It's timeline adjustments, those of you that do know what we're talking about. So a lot of us came here just for an experience. Most of the new children coming in want to experience, okay, but are setting in huge templates and anchors. So I'm going to go back to this for a minute. Galactic time traveler training is the way that we were trained is you don't set up light fields because of a human species. It's artificial intelligence, NA intelligence. So light fields is what you guys call shields. And we do multiple shields, and we teach shields, but it's from a place of not fear, no fear, or yes, and then groups that are, I guess, human groups on the planet too. You have a higher self that actually has a light field around you. So really what it is that you are in your ego, that you are playing in your ego, could be for a while, creating, because if you follow the patterns of an ego and how the ego can create and what the ego system can create, what the mind could create, if you actually tune into it and start laying in bed, like how we practice through laying in bed, and really as soon as we wake up, if you could follow that grid work of illusions and veils of separation, which is separation, and it's only separation, and it's all this fear and plots and drama and all this funny stuff. If you actually sit and lay in bed and pay attention to it, you'll realize that this is running from a fourth dimensional grid on the right side of your brain. So what do? You deactivate and dismantle it. You have to learn how to deactivate and dismantle this type of intelligence and to clear it on your own. Hopefully this will be able to assist anybody who is listening, or expand somebody's consciousness. And there's nothing really to fear, even if it's a higher dimensional being, that once you realize you have a ascension vehicle, your ascension vehicle can set up as many shields as you want to, but they're light fields. You want to learn how to share your field and to emanate your light outwards, and you want to learn how to charge up your field through running and exercise and moving your body. lifting weight, or actually moving the system, Pilates, yoga, moving your body. When you move your body, you're able to charge up that field. You can charge the field. You're charging through your heart center. We operate from the heart. When you activate the heaven on earth gate, you don't need protection. So protection doesn't exist at all in those realms. So you eventually you will have a higher self tell you, or you're led to this little 15-minute recording. You will have a higher self eventually tell you, and it's not about right or wrong, that you don't have to believe in anything that we say either, so it's fine. I let people know that. Don't ever believe in anything we say, because nanosecond beliefs change, and there is no beliefs in the 0 point structure. 0 point structure is the 5D and beyond, which is the higher realms. I mean, there's no beliefs, but we're assisting people navigating from the third dimensional program station. We call it station. So the third dimensional consciousness and fourth dimensional consciousness, to see how can you guys shift, how can you love more, how can you unify with humanity. So humanity is the angelic human race. And then you will have to unify like we all do. I am taught to unify with everything in this multiverse. No separation. And that really is the Galactic Jedi training, is you have to become one with everything from a heart space and love of the pure heart. So I hope this is able to assist you. You can activate as many shields as you want to by speaking pure intent, but really go into what pure intent is, because I've watched Lightworkers and Indigos and WayShowers teach, I'm going to say, a distortion of the universe, in the sense of that is not pure intent at all. So they're teaching from an old system, which is causing them to stay in a game. You're teaching people how to stay in a game that is nothing but battle, light and dark, fear and illusion and protection. Okay, so if you kind of raise up just a little bit, you'll be able to realize this, that I've watched light workers setting up light fields and crystal fields and protection fields against other light workers, which I think is insane, which is funny, right? Because if you look at it, that's just the fourth dimension anyways. It's like, wow, it's crazy, right? And thinking that they're dark. You guys are in an ecosystem. You're in a game that we hope that you guys move out of very fast, okay? And we're hoping that you guys can see what is going on in the body, and also what is going on with your higher self, just playing with you, because it is your higher self playing with you until you get it out of your body. You realize your higher self had to do this to move that system out of your body. You have to break that energy down. You have to keep breaking it down. Eventually you realize your higher self has been breaking down energy for a very long time. And you won't be upset with your higher self. When you actually open the heart fully, you'll understand every single dimension is a mastery. Every matrix system that you're dissolving was a mastery in order for you to open up your heart and to be able to share your light with the world. So you'll realize that there was a mastery there. But we have been tuning into this, which is like, you're actually harming people. So I'm going to, as a Galactic High Commander and a Galactic High Council member, you are harming people. And you have to open up and to realize that that's what you're doing. So the universe and the universal laws, that's where you will have your boomerangs, and that's where you will have your lessons. And we all have to master this, because we all have done this at one point in time, not realizing, unless you have a higher self like me, and like a lot of us do, that says don't do that. They actually come in and say don't do that. I've had my higher self come in 5 years ago and told me to put certain things down, or to sit there and go sit down. Don't you even think about doing anything like that. So I would not create unconscious karma. So I'm actually really glad that I have a great team. I have a great family. I have a great higher self that would come in and was stopping me from creating 10 years of unconscious karma. So, wow. All right. So eventually I was like, well, thank you so much. Hopefully this will be able to assist you. The next thing is what you want to tune into is what do you do next, okay? So you set up your light fields, and when you set up your light fields, okay, you want to just set the pure intention to set them up and to share your field with humanity, and that's it. So it's very simple. That really is the pure intent, to anchor in the light fields and to set up the purest intention from your heart center, okay? Not out of fear or an illusion of the old system. So we hope this is able to assist you guys today.